Welcome to Tales with Meaning, where every story is a journey of discovery. Today's story is about the age-old adage, knowledge is power. But don't be fooled, this isn't just another lesson wrapped in a cliché. Picture this, a young woman thrust into an unexpected and life-threatening situation where her survival depends not on her physical strength, but on what she knows and what she doesn't, as she navigates a labyrinth of deceit, hidden agendas, and high stakes. You'll see how the right knowledge, or lack thereof, can mean the difference between life and death. Stay tuned, because nothing is as it seems. It was an ordinary Thursday evening when Emma received a text message that would change the course of her life. "Meet me at the old factory tonight. It's urgent. Come alone." The message was from an unknown number, but the urgency in the words sent a chill down her spine. Emma was no stranger to strange occurrences. Working as an investigative journalist had thrown her into some risky situations before, but something about this message felt different. There was no signature, no context, just a directive that made her instincts scream to stay away. Yet, curiosity and the promise of a big story got the better of her. Emma arrived at the abandoned factory just as the last traces of daylight were fading. The building loomed before her, a relic from a bygone era, now nothing more than a decaying skeleton of brick and steel. She hesitated for a moment, her breath visible in the chilly night air. The silence was deafening, interrupted only by the occasional rustle of leaves or distant sound of traffic. She knew she should turn back, but something inside urged her to press on. As she stepped inside, the air grew colder, and the darkness seemed to swallow her whole. The only light came from her phone's flashlight, casting long, eerie shadows on the walls. Emma felt a prickling sensation at the back of her neck, a feeling she had learned never to ignore. Just then, she heard a faint noise, like the scrape of a foot on the concrete floor. Her heart pounded in her chest as she swung the flashlight around, revealing nothing but empty space. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice echoing through the cavernous room. No answer. Suddenly, her phone buzzed again, startling her. Another message, "You're in over your head. Leave now if you want to live." Emma's pulse quickened. Was this some kind of sick joke, or was she truly in danger? She was a seasoned journalist, and she had been in tight spots before, but something about this felt different, more personal. Determined not to let fear get the best of her, Emma pushed forward, deeper into the factory. The corridors seemed to stretch on forever, each one more desolate than the last. Finally, she reached a large room filled with old machinery, rusted and covered in dust. In the center of the room was a single chair, facing a wall of monitors. On the chair sat a man, bound and gagged. His eyes widened in terror as he saw Emma. She rushed over to him, untying the gag. "Who did this to you?" she asked, but before he could answer, the monitors flickered to life, displaying a face she recognized all too well, her former mentor, a man she had once trusted with her life. "Emma," the man on the screen said, his voice calm and calculated. "I see you've found my little surprise. You've always been smart, too smart for your own good. But you've been digging into things you shouldn't, asking questions that don't need answers." Emma's blood ran cold. Her mentor had vanished years ago under mysterious circumstances, and now here he was, orchestrating this twisted game. "What do you want?" she demanded. "Knowledge, Emma. That's all I've ever wanted. The right knowledge can topple governments, shift economies, and end lives. But it's a double-edged sword. The more you know, the more dangerous you become to yourself and others." Emma realized that she was being tested, her every move observed, her every decision weighed. Her mentor had always been obsessed with the idea that knowledge was power, but now it was clear he had taken it to a terrifying extreme. She had to think fast. What did she know that could turn the tables? The answer came to her in a flash. During her last investigation, she had uncovered a series of encrypted files linking her mentor to an underground network of black market operatives. She hadn't yet cracked the code, but she knew enough to bluff. "Your little game is over," she said, holding up her phone. "I have evidence that ties you to some very dangerous people. It's only a matter of time before the authorities get their hands on it." There was a pause on the other end. For a moment, Emma thought she had miscalculated. But then her mentor spoke again, his voice laced with a mix of anger and respect. "You're lying, but I can't take that risk, can I?" The monitors suddenly went dark, and the lights in the room flickered off. Emma's phone buzzed one last time. "We'll meet again, Emma. Until then, stay safe. Knowledge is power, but it can also be your undoing." Emma didn't waste a second. She freed the man in the chair, and they both fled the factory, not stopping until they were safely out in the open. As the cool night air hit her face, Emma knew this was far from over. She had been given a glimpse into a world where knowledge was both a weapon and a shield, a world where knowing too much could get you killed, but knowing just enough could save your life. Thank you for joining us on Tales with Meaning. Emma's story is a stark reminder that in our world, knowledge truly is power, but with power comes responsibility and sometimes danger. As we've seen, what you know can either protect you or put you in harm's way. It's not just about having information, but understanding how to use it wisely. Stay curious, but stay cautious. Until next time, remember, the most valuable knowledge isn't just about facts and figures. It's about understanding the consequences that come with it.